Hey, happy Sunday. I'm Jill Munroe. I'm an entertainment journalist, radio host. You can catch me Monday through Friday on KBLA Talk 1580 from 6 to 7 p.m. Choking. Sorry about that. Sorry I'm late. But let's get into this Young Thug jail leaks because all of his phone calls are sounding like the Shade Room comments. So if you weren't aware, Young Thug's, some of his phone calls from when he was incarcerated have leaked. And it's got everybody in a tizzy because I guess his real feelings have been revealed. So we're going to get into some of the calls. We're going to play some, talk about what he's saying. You know, he got into Future, Drake, GloRilla, Gunna, even his girlfriend, Mariah, right? So everybody's mad. He's talked a little bit about it. We'll play some of those clips in an interview. He addressed some of it. The interview was obviously pre-recorded. I don't know how far in advance. And Whack 100 is claiming responsibility for these leaked phone calls being released. So let's start with, how did they get them? There is a Freedom of Information Act that applies to all things federal. You can write and request to get these phone calls. And they say to you when you're on these calls from prison that these calls are being recorded. But generally, what they're looking for, if they decide to look, is illegal chatter, things about illegal dealings, not just your pillow talk or your thoughts and feelings about, the current industry. I don't even know if I'd call it Thug's defense, but in real world terms, you're locked up. You don't have anything to do all day. I mean, he could have been like some other people recording phone music, but he didn't. He was talking about what is happening out in the world. So, child, that's what it is. So, let's see. Let's play. First, I'm going to play the snippet of him talking about, oops, this is playing already. Talking about exactly what state of mind he was in when he was, doing all of that stuff. Let me put in the video. I'm moving slow, child. Sorry. Let's see. All right.
My life on the phone with nobody else. I've never been that type of nigga. These last few days, I've been sitting around like, what the fuck was I thinking? Like, what I was doing?
I appreciate you saying that.
I think I was just so fucked up and I just felt like it was just over. Like, I'm just sitting in jail 24 hours on 23 and 1. I'm in a cell 23 hours. Like, at this point, I'm just like, man, I don't give a fuck. Life, it ain't what I'm thinking it is. Like, I'm just talking. At this point, I'm just talking. At this point, I'm just holding conversations with my girl. But the crazy part is, all these conversations that I had on the phone, I also had with the same niggas who I was talking about on the phones. So that's why it don't seem weird between me and them. Cause I done held these same conversations with Wham. I done held these same conversations with Savage. How I feel about him, how I feel about Wham, how I feel about this, how I feel about every situation. We talk like men, we brothers, we talk. They tell me how they feel about certain things. So we all align. We won, we what we are. But you gotta understand, like, my standpoint. I'm locked up. Nigga, I'm on the phone talking to my girl every day. This is the only person I'm talking to on the phone. This is the only person that I can talk to. Like, I can't even talk to my family because they just like, how they is, it ain't good for my case. They can be on the phone, they don't understand certain things. So if I be on the phone with them, they might say the wrong thing on the phone. So now I can't talk to them. Now I can't talk to Bank. I don't want the police to get on Bank. Now I can't talk to Wham. I don't want the police to get on him. I don't want the police to get on Savage. I don't want the police to get on Pluto. It's just so much shit in my mind to the point where I'm just like, I'm confining myself. I mean, not confined. I'm like trapping myself to just communicate with one person. And then I might go.
So it's a lot there. He's going on, but in his defense, he's saying basically, I didn't have anything else to do, so I'm pillow talking with my girl about what's going in the world. But he's saying that all of those people, I don't know about all, know that he feels this way and he communicates that. And it's like, that's true. I know that, in some of my personal conversations, if I feel A, B, and C, and I've talked to my friends about it, maybe I'll talk to the significant other or something. Who knows? But it's feeling a little chatty patty ish to some. But part two is none of these calls were ever meant to see the light of day for the general public because that's how life is, right? Well, let's get into, let me find it. Let me find the other one, exactly what he was saying about various people. Now, as far as Whack 100, Whack is, he was managing the game at one point. He's affiliated with Ray J, a couple of other people. He's an LA street dude affiliated with the LA streets. That is not my ministry. I can't give you details on the connections, the history, or all of that just because I'm not into those politics. So, but that is who he is. And he has chatted a lot about various things. So he came out and said that he is the one that is responsible for dropping these leaks. And the reason why he said he did it is because Thug disrespected Coach Pete, quality control. I'm not sure what that is. I think that phone call is in one of the calls that I'm going to play. So we'll get more details on that. But basically, he said that is why he opted to release these tapes. I mean, these phone calls, and that he will continue to release them. He also mentioned before the one that was dropped where he was talking about Mariah calling him and about other girls in the condos, that he had something coming for Mariah too. He was like, "You think that's your man? You're going to stand by him? I got something for you." And then boom, we got these other leaks. So perhaps he is responsible unless he just caught it up sooner, when they were released on YouTube or what have you. But let's get into what he had to say about Gunna. Cause yeah, let me, because it's gonna start playing before I'm ready. All right, so let's listen to this one because yeah. Oh no, what is it doing? Sorry. All right, here it is right here. Why is it not giving me my other scene? Ah, I hate it when it plays with me. All right, let's go. Here it is right here. All right, let's hit play on this and get into
Brotherhood, I honor that shit. I love you, bro.
So, damn, it's cold. So you still love him?
Bro, I poured so much into this nigga, I can't even hate him, bro. In jail, I thought I hated him when he took the pleas and shit. When they did that, I thought I hated these niggas. Nigga, my girl made me realize, like, bro, you don't hate him. You just mad at him.
Yeah.
You don't hate him, bro.
You hate him motherfucker, you stop talking about him.
Why you hate a nigga, you on a whole nother type of time.
Yeah. You stop talking about him.
Like, why I don't wish no ill will on him. No ill feeling at all.
Stop the man album though. That shit hit the way, but that fucked up. Like,
because I was just angry.
Okay.
But it seemed.
So, he said he was just angry, and that is what made him talk about it, which you in jail, you kind of understand that, right? But his comments about Kendrick and Drake and Future, who's supposed to be his dog, right, have hit some people. Although what he was saying about Future, you can't really be mad at. He said, but he needed to stop dropping his little seeds in everyone and not taking care of his kids and not being responsible. I hope he said that to Future, but that's another thing. All right, let's hear exactly what he had to say about Future. All of this is one, everybody's like us. Everybody's going to have some commentary to add into the mix. But does this jack up his credibility as far as being a rapper goes? Like, is this demolished him? Is he a snitch too? Because some people are saying, look, you out here doing all of this talking, you know better than the other people you tried to call a rat or whatever. I think sometimes people forget the reality is when you're facing jail time, you're not necessarily going to act like the person you are on the record. It's your life. But, you know, he's kind of free now. That's a long, is it probation or parole? Probation that he got. But let's hear what he had to say about Future.
Man, you called it the perfect time. Like, nigga, what? Yeah, you right. I called it the perfect time because I needed to know. But you're definitely right. But it's like God revealing certain things. But I already knew this too, though. Like, me and him ain't been, you know, he ain't never just paid attention. Me and him ain't been tight in a minute.
Yeah.
And it's because he do little lame jump, like, call me to the studio. You know, so I pull up to the studio, chilling with him. You asking me what to say on the song and how you should start off your song. Then there's girls in the room. Now you acting like you don't hear me telling you that. Because there's girls in here, like, just like little fake nigga like that, like little stuff like that. I don't be liking that nigga. I'm a player. Like, what's wrong with you, fool? You trying to, I don't know, what trying to.
So basically, he's saying that Future is fake when there's women in the studio. He acts different, just that he's irresponsible and an idiot, right? You know, what are Future fans called? The Plutonians, right? They probably not trying to hear that. And he is planning on dropping new music. Ironically enough, he is sampling R. Kelly's I Wish, and that is going to be the basis of his new song. We'll play a snippet of that in a minute. But getting back to it, let's hear a little bit about what Whack 100 had to say, because, you know, Whack is...
I want to see if Mariah gonna forgive him for what he said, who he'll leave her for. I want to see if Mariah gonna forgive him for this. Yeah, it's coming, Mariah. You think you looking like a fool now? Him telling you how ugly GloRilla is, and the whole time this thing got calling her to ask her what color her eyes is. He ain't did a public apology to nobody but her. You know why? When she shot back at him, she was letting him know, you know what's in my phone, nigga. Keep playing with me. Mariah can't be that stupid that like you ain't apologized to nobody publicly but her. Once she shot back, he's trying to suppress everything she got. But we gonna let you know what Thug really feel about you. I want to see if Mariah gonna forgive him for what he said, who he'll leave her for. I want to see if Mariah gonna forgive him for this.
So again, chatty patties, whatever, but this is where we are now. Indictments, jail time, all of these things. I mean, I guess because I don't have a dog in the fight, it's not that surprising. You know, look at the stuff that they're into. Look at the people that they're talking about. None of these conversations should really be surprising to anybody. I do find it interesting, but again, it's just jailhouse conversation that he felt like Kendrick should have shared the love and put more people on with his music. When I listen to Kendrick's album, GNX, I think about the fact that he has a lot of LA West Coast on that mix. But I guess he felt like he should have put more Georgia rappers in the mix or what have you. He also talked about, you know, Drake messing up a feature that he had, Young Thug was featured on with Metro Boomin, because he said he was harassing him on the lowest of keys. He said, but he was respectful, but really like doing that to get to the point of what's up with this music after Metro's mom passed. But he also alluded to the fact that maybe Metro was stringing it out a little bit regarding his mom. But, you know, his mom didn't just pass away. She was taken from him. So that might take more time for you to get in your space, in the right headspace. So, you know, kind of can't be mad at Thug for calling that out. But here's the question. Is it another rapper's responsibility to share the love, quote unquote? He pointed out that Drake, when he was talking about Kendrick, put a bunch of different rappers on, which he did. And it's something that we talk about. And it's why, if you think about the 2010s, Drake really kind of ran rap. There were some others in there, but Drake had the women, he had the Instagram quotes, he had guys carving hearts into their haircuts. So, and he introduced a lot of people to Migos when he jumped on Bad and Bougie. I know that they were everything already in Atlanta, but you know, he probably spread out the space a little bit. A couple of other people that he's featured on. But there can be a debate on if he was doing that to extend his wave, to tap into their audiences. We talked about that. Probably a little of both, right? But is it considered weak as a hip hop artist to look at artist number 2 who's eating and like, hey man, you got to share that love? I mean, if you guys are a part of a crew, then it makes sense. But I don't know per se if one artist is obligated to put others on. It's nice. It shows camaraderie. It's, you know, hip hop in a sense, but I don't know if it's exactly their responsibility, right? So we'll have to see what else comes of this. Oh, I said I wanted to play the leak clip, so let me go back to it. That's about what you call it, talking about GloRilla. Here's the leak of the sample. And shout out to the Neighborhood Talk because they had it all in one place. I was trying to gather and download all the clips, and I'm like, duh, let's just go here. Oh, I didn't enter it in. So here, let's play it right now.
RP the big, RP the Matt V, RP the Key, RP my baby mama Key, you know what I'm saying? The list go on and on. Nigga, we done been through a whole lot of shit together. Been running these streets and being down for whatever. And now that you're gone, I got a whole lot of shit to tell you. Shit I should've said way back when we was younger. Remember when we used to roll hand in hand? And now I'm tripping on how I really.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm good. But you know, I have selective songs for Young Thug that appealed to me, but not all of that stuff. So, you know, good luck with that. Also, you know, he has enraged the LBGTQ community, right? Because he says that basically he doesn't have a problem with gay people, but he feels like the ones that are what did he say? Faking the funk. Like they came out one way and then now they're switching up. Which is kind of interesting because when you think about when Thug first dropped, he kind of wore dresses, he had the nail polish going on, playing into, I'm not saying or implying he was gay. I don't know that man's business. Well, I do now a little bit, but no, really, I don't know all the ins and outs about him in that aspect, but I think he played into it, you know, meaning the look, the time, the aura when he first dropped. But, you know, intrigue gets the people going, shall we say. All right, so those are my thoughts on all of that. It's a lot, and apparently it's going to continue. I do feel bad a little bit for Mariah the Scientist just because your man keeps embarrassing you, but that's what it is when you are dating a rapper, I suppose. All right. So let's get into this second story, right? Hollywood's biggest open secret has finally gotten some subtitles. It's not the biggest, but it's one of them. Charlie Sheen, you know, he of 80s Brat Pack popularity, Tiger Blood. Remember when Twitter was first kind of popping off? Charlie Sheen was one of the people that was talked about quite a bit because he had the Tiger Blood things and he was going out there wilding out, drugs, prostitutes, all of that. Well, he has a new Netflix documentary and he is discussing some things that have been rumored that basically when he was smoking crack, he ended up having relations with a man, right? Now, who's surprised that a crackhead had sex with a man? Nobody. But, you know, he also in this documentary talks about that whole crack cocaine era, his HIV diagnosis, and the hush money payouts regarding all of this. He was also married to Denise Richards. You know, he dated Kelly Preston for a minute, another white actress. There was rumors that he might have been physically abusive with her. It hasn't been addressed. And there are also rumors that during the filming of a movie called Lucas that starred one of the Coreys, I can't remember if it's Corey Haim or Corey Feldman, but there are some rumors about him being not so nice, for lack of a better term. I'm really glossing over this with him, but it's unconfirmed. So there's that. But Charlie basically said, I flipped the menu over. He said that he's trying something new after years of having sex with women. So I guess I don't know if he's saying he tried it and he liked it, and if this is his way of coming out or coming out as bisexual. I don't know. But he said he's not hiding from his past anymore. He's owning up to it. And he said he's not letting it own him. And part of that is that he was blackmailed, basically. He said that, he had to give lots of money to people who were either in his home and might have saw some things or what have you, saw the medication when he was first diagnosed with HIV and things of that nature. So he had a lot of payouts, and he said he got tired of that. He also says that it's liberating for him to be talking about all of the stuff that happened to him. He's like, a train didn't come through the side of a restaurant. A piano didn't fall out the sky. No one came into the room and, pew-pewed him or whatever. So his whole story, because we know Charlie had some adventures, all of that, they're included a little bit in this documentary. It's on Netflix right now, so you can go check it out. And, he also talks about the crack. He says that that's what started his experimentation with men. Again, crack. People do a lot of strange things for crack, so none of that's really surprising. He said that that's where it was sparked, and that whatever chunks of time that he was off the pipe, he said he was trying to navigate that and come to terms with it. And, he said finally he was like, so what? Some of it was weird. A lot of it was effing fun, and life goes on, which, is true. One thing that he did say unequivocally, he said he knows for a fact that he didn't pass the HIV virus on to anyone during his exploits. So praise and blessings due. Good health to you. So listen, I'm trying to decide if I should do front row Sundays or front row Saturdays. Maybe I'll put up a poll. But sorry I was late today if anyone was waiting. But I'll be back next weekend, either Saturday or Sunday. I'll put it up earlier so we can chat on these various topics. There'll be more meat, of course. You can hit me up on Instagram or any of your social networks at Stiletto Jill. And remember, Monday through Friday, I'm on KBLA Talk 1580 from 6 to 7 p.m. Hit that subscribe button. Maybe like it if you liked it. There's also membership. Hit join, see what's up with that. And, we can connect. I got a newsletter too. All of that's in the description below. Thank you guys for locking